That may look like a shrunken Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe, but it's not. It's actually the new smart hashtag 3, which you might call simply a coupe version of the smart hashtag 1. They're both almost alike, but not quite. Let's have a look at it. Before we go on, I'd just like to point out one little observation, which is that with the electric cars, it seems that Smart has gone with all the odd numbers. So we already have the hashtag 1, this is the hashtag 3, and at the recent Beijing Motor Show, the Smart Concept hashtag 5 was revealed. I just find this interesting because last time when Smart made petrol cars, they had the Smart 42 and the Smart 44. Anyway, let's focus on the hashtag 3 right here. So I am very tempted to call it a coupe version of the hashtag 1, but after having a look at its dimensions, it isn't quite that. So this is slightly longer, slightly wider, and also slightly lower than the hashtag 1. So we can expect some difference in terms of handling in the hashtag 3. Like the hashtag 1, it seems that there are 3 variants of the hashtag 3, or at least that's what we're being shown here at the Proton Test Track. This one right here is the base Pro variant, there's the Premium, and there's also the range topping Brabus variant. Also like the hashtag 1, we get Cyberspark's LED headlights, but this one on the Pro are LED reflectors, and like the hashtag 1 again, we get illuminated grills for some variants. As we move to the side, we see the first difference between the hashtag 1 and the hashtag 3, which is this smart emblem right here. If you remember on the hashtag 1, this emblem was on the C pillar. There's no space for it right now since it's a bit sloped. So the smart emblem is now on the front fender, and since we're in this area, the wheels are 19 inches on the Pro variant right here, also 19 inches on the Premium, but on the Brabus hashtag 3, they are 20 inches in size, which is one size up from the hashtag 1 Brabus. Next, let's look at the door handles. They are flush, just like the hashtag 1 to help with aerodynamics. But since this has a sloping coupe roofline, this has a lower drag coefficient of 0.27. Hashtag 1 had a drag coefficient of 0.29. So you can expect slightly better performance and slightly better range with the hashtag 3. And as for the rear end of the hashtag 3, my first impression is that it looks like a shrunken Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe, but that's not the most interesting thing about it. The most interesting thing about it is how do you open the tailgate. You can look here, nothing there. It's actually the A, the hole in the A. You press that and the tailgate will open. On the inside, the hashtag 3's interior is very much similar to the hashtag 1 with exception of a few things. So the center aircon vents are a bit different. So in the hashtag 1, they were horizontal. These right here, there are 3 circular vents. These seats are also different. If you remember, the hashtag 1 seats had a bit of a plastic trim going on the side, and these appear to be a sportier style of seats in the hashtag 3. All else, the interior of the hashtag 3 is the same Mercedes-Benz inspired interior like the hashtag 1. So you still get this center console, which really reminds you of the typical Mercedes-Benz. You get these covered storage compartments right here, and you get this 2-stage center console as well. Even this whole T-shaped dashboard is very reminiscent of a Mercedes-Benz. You also get the typical ambient lighting like a Mercedes-Benz would. The screen is the same as the hashtag 1 screen, but this time around you don't get a funny little fox in the screen. Instead, you get a funny little cheetah that emotes on behalf of the voice assistant. The instrument cluster is also the same like the hashtag 1. It's a weirdly low instrument cluster, but once you consider the fact that it makes way for a good space for a head-up display in some variants of the hashtag 3, it actually makes a lot of sense to have the instrument cluster this small. Steering wheel is also the same. You get the physical buttons, no capacitive controls here, and you get tilt and telescopic steering adjustment. As you get into the back seats of the hashtag 3, you would notice that it is missing a few things compared to the hashtag 1. So first things first, the hashtag 3 doesn't get sliding back seats like the hashtag 1 does, so you can't adjust the cargo space. Lastly, the hashtag 3 doesn't get an electric sunshade, so you are stuck with this glass roof similar to the one that you find in the Volvo C40 and some Tesla models. I did see some test units right here with an accessory that functions to close this big glass roof, but we are yet to confirm whether or not that will be a standard item on the hashtag 3. As for the other amenities in the hashtag 3, you do get 2 aircon vents for the rear passengers, a USB-A port, USB-C port, there's an armrest with 2 cup holders, and this speaker right here may look like a normal one because this is the Pro variant, but in the other variants, you get a Beats sound system. As for the boot space, the coupe roofline of the hashtag 3 means you get 10 liters of space less than the hashtag 1. There's also a sturdy tonneau cover inside here, and underneath the boot floor is a bit more space for storage in the hashtag 3. Now, if this space at the back is not enough, don't worry, like the hashtag 1, the hashtag 3 also gets a frunk. So there's a frunk in the hashtag 3 right here, albeit a very small one, and since there was no tire packet in the boot, there's actually a tire packet right here. Very small, I think you can put probably a handbag inside here, and that's about it. As for the powertrain, it is pretty much the same as what you would find in the hashtag 1. So the Brabus gets a dual motor all-wheel drive setup, while the Premium and the Pro get a single motor rear-wheel drive setup. The rear-wheel drive powertrain makes 200 kilowatts and 343 Newton meters of torque, and it can do 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds. Interestingly, despite being bigger and heavier, this manages to do 0 to 100 faster than the rear-wheel drive hashtag 1, which does it in 6.7 seconds. The all-wheel drive powertrain for the Brabus makes 315 kilowatts and 543 Newton meters of torque. It is also faster than the Brabus hashtag 1 since it does 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. The Brabus hashtag 1 does this in 3.9 seconds. This is perhaps due to the better aerodynamics of the hashtag 3 as it weighs more than the hashtag 1. Speaking of aerodynamics, you get a bit more range with the hashtag 3 despite using the same battery as the hashtag 1. The battery capacity is 66 kilowatt hours in the Premium and the Brabus and 49 kilowatt hours in the Pro. So the Brabus can do 415 kilometers, the Premium can do 455 kilometers, while the Pro can do 325 kilometers on a single charge. Charging tech is the same as the hashtag 1, so for the Premium and Brabus variants, you can do DC charging at 150 kilowatts maximum and AC charging at 22 kilowatts maximum. It takes less than 30 minutes to go from 10% to 80% with 150 kilowatts DC charging. With 22 kilowatt AC charging, it takes less than 3 hours to fully charge. The Pro charges a bit slower at 130 kilowatts DC and 7.4 kilowatts AC, so that's less than 30 minutes with DC charging and less than 5.5 hours with AC charging. The hashtag 3 is estimated to be launched in Malaysia by the third quarter of 2024, and judging by its size, we are guessing that it will be slightly pricier than the hashtag 1. So that's the hashtag 3 for you, not simply a coupe version of the hashtag 1. There is in fact a lot of improvement done to this little electric car. For more information on the smart hashtag 3, head on to AutoBuzz.my.